Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to my shop. Well, today we're going to get back on this 75 Corvette. If you remember from a previous episode, many episodes ago, I had a problem with two power steering lines that goes from the controller to the ram. Well, they're okay. Now it appears that I've got a leak with either the pressure feed line from the pump to the controller or the return line from the controller back to the pump. In either case, I'm replacing both them lines today, which means I'm going to have to jack this thing up and crawl back under it. So anyway, stay tuned and let's tackle a power steering leak on this 75 Corvette Stingray. We're going to go higher on both sides. Pull off the front wheel too.
Get it up high enough? Oh.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can show this good. All right, this is the controller, if that my light will stay put. Here's your high pressure fitting there, and that's your return. When you take the old lines off, you want to take this one off first, your high pressure, and it's a 7/16, because you won't be able to get a wrench on that big one. Conversely, when you go to put them back on, put the return one there on first. All right, now the biggest pain, the two biggest pains I had was here at the pump and getting that old line off. See if I can get some light up there. Getting that old line off up there was a pain, and getting the high pressure screw to start was a pain because of the hard bend in the lines. Now they really only go one way if they're the proper lines. I'll try to show them underneath here, and it's just hard to do when you're laying down. Okay, there you go. And you can see how they do a bend right here. Okay, see my hand? Where's my hand at? Right there. Let's go back here. See how they do a bend? You want them to clear the controller arm here because it's going to go back and forth like this, all right? And I have a feeling that's what rubs on the high pressure line that caused it to wear. But anyway, I mean, this is a 47-year-old car. Are those the original lines? Hard to say. But anyway, it's not that bad. And the 1 to 5, I'd give it a 3, only because you gotta put it up in the air and pull the wheel off. And you're going to get nasty. You're going to get messy. So anyway, all right, this is the moment of the cruise. Turn the wheel, see what we get. This will bleed the air out. I'll put them back straight. Now let's see. So far, nothing there. Well, you really, you just can't. There's no way to see. Let's try it from underneath. There we go. Right there. Shut it down. Check the level. All right, here's the offending lines here. Here's the high pressure line. And you can see right there where it's wore through there, or there, or there. He's just in terrible bad shape, but that's worse there. And the return line, he was wet right around here where it looks like where it crimped. So, anyway, glad to get them dudes off. I had some leaking valve cover gaskets. I said, well, I'm on it. I might as well get them fixed too. You can see just how brittle, hard and brittle they are. I don't know how old they are, but they're quite old. And I didn't take any video or pictures of inside the heads, but they are the 333 882 heads, which are the stock L48 heads, and they were all right. I've seen cleaner and I've seen a whole lot worse, but so I cleaned them out a little bit and put new gaskets on the covers, cleaned the covers up, and put them on too. So anyway, having fun. And since I was spraying some brake cleaner down into the heads to clean them up, to get them cleaned up good too, decided to go ahead and change the oil. I was running 10W30 and I've changed now. I've gone to 15W40 and I want to see if that's going to raise that oil pressure up just a little bit. The oil pressure, it's okay, but I would like it a little better. My 350 that I had in my 49 truck, it ran a little bit higher than what this one is, so that thicker oil might help it out some. I didn't change the filter, I just changed the oil, and we'll go from there on that too. Alright, I did some test running, and so far no leaks from the oil or the power steering fluid, so maybe I've got both of those fixed up. So mechanically I believe it's ready to get back out there and do some more running, and that's what we're going to do with it. But it's got some cosmetic stuff it needs done, and I really need to leave it in this slot so I can work on it some more. So I don't know, we'll see. Right now it's kind of want to get it out there and run it. All right, I want to show you something, boys and girls. You see it staying open? Look, there's midway, and there's all the way. That sure makes getting in and out real easy instead of having to keep kicking it open while you're trying to climb out. What I did was, let me see if we can get a light in there. Send it back. Right there is a brand new spring for the door hinge, which will keep it open. Now, I got real intense on putting it in, and I didn't record it, which I should have. But let me tell you the trick, and then I'll show you what you have to do, because you'll probably have to modify it. But it's a big S spring, and I'll show you here on a picture over there. And what you do, there's two channels in the hinge, at the hinge, that you want to start it down in a hole there, back here in the back. Here, let me get my hand away. There's a hole right there. You start the one hook through, the short hook, all right, or loop. Pop him into both little slots on the hinge and have it all the way down. So the bottom, right here, you can see it right here, the bottom loop is as far down as possible. Now when it's adjusted just right, you can take a tool, which they sell for $19.95, or you can use what I had right here, and you get in and you jimmy it like that, and you push it over, and with the other hand you tap up, and it locks into a slot right there at the bottom, and it's in. Now the problem is it ships with that bottom loop a little too long, and I'll show you. All right, here's a picture of I'll try to show you a picture since I've already got it installed. Here you can see, here's the spring. It's an S spring, okay? It's like an S. What you want to do is you want to get it started in these two slots in the hinge, and then you'll take the end of this loop and you'll push it down in. There's a hole up there at the top, and you push it down as far as it'll go. Now, what happens is, if this loop from this point to the end is too long, it will not engage in that bottom slot. And if it won't engage in that bottom slot, you're not going to get it in. So, thanks to WilcoxCorvette.com, I found that the measurement from the bottom of this loop to the end of the tip should be 2 1/8 inch. Mine that I got came, which I got from Corvette Central, it was approximately 2 3/16 of an inch. So it was a 1/16 of an inch too long. What that caused is I could not get I could get it in the hole, and I could get it in the top notch, but I could not get it in the bottom notch. So I ground off approximately a 1/16 of an inch from this loop, popped in, with it pushed all the way down, all right? So you take your, it's got to be between 30 to 40 degree bend, which they sell a special tool, which is like $19.95 or something, but I use my needle nose. And you get the tip in, and because it has to be bent because there's not enough room to get a straight slot in. And you bend it over, and while you got it bent over, you take a hammer and you tap up, and it'll engage in that slot, and bang, it's locked right in there. And actually, when you grind it off, if it's too long, it'll take you a couple minutes to do, and it's not hard. The problem I had was I spent an hour before I determined that it was too long by a 1/16 of an inch. So anyway, there you go. Well, all right, as you can see, it's back up on the jack stands. The rear end's jacked up. I got out here and did some running, and so far my door hinge is great, my power steering is great, my oil pressure's up just a little bit, but it's maintaining a little better, so I think 1540 is the key for this older of an engine now. But I ran into a new problem, and of course I'll cover that in an upcoming, but I'll give you a hint. It's got to do with the rear end. Not the rear end pumpkin itself, but components to the rear end. Namely, the rear wheel bearings or U-joints in the half shafts, or a combination of both. I'm in the process of troubleshooting. So I'll be posting that coming up soon. So anyway, my fun in the sun was short-lived. Boy, it was nice cruising around with the tops off, but hey, this whole thing, you know, I'm running it pretty good, and I guess I'm working stuff that needs attention. So anyway, it's a vet. So I hope everything's going good with you and yours. Everything is going good here. Can't complain. But I am going to complain a little bit because I can't seem to keep this thing running enough to get down there to the Dragon. But we're coming up on that. The weather's great for it, and so it's a matter of time before it'll finally let me do it. So have a good one, and I hope to see you around on the next one. See ya.